Our next presenter today is Tiffany Thompkins, Assistant Professor of Nursing in the College of Health and Human Services, and she's going to be talking to us about predictors of African American girls' eating behaviors. So, Tiffany?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tiffany Thompkins, and I am I'm assistant professor. Trying to move to associate already. Assistant professor in the School of Nursing, and I've been a nurse practitioner for about 10 years and working in nursing about 20 total. Within that, I've always worked in community health and always seen a lot of preventable obesity-related health conditions, and also witnessed the negative outcomes of those. So this study, it was an exploration of eating behaviors in African American girls who live in low-income households in efforts to find ways to decrease childhood obesity. And some background on this is that it's estimated that 19.7 children and adolescents have obesity in America. That's 14.7 million children with obesity. Obesity rates among African American girls are double their white counterparts, and this is partially due to living in environments that encompass food deserts, with more unhealthy foods available than healthier food options. It's also an intersectionality of age, race, and sex in African American girls, and it provides a unique set of psychosocial cultural influences that may impact eating behaviors. So there are quite a few factors that impact African American girls and their eating behaviors, one being biology, just the genetic makeup, also a poor food environment, and as I discussed previously, living in environments that doesn't support healthy eating habits contributes, limited financial resources, culture. A lot of celebration and social gatherings for African American people are surrounded by food, and food that's often high in fat and sugar that leads to obesity. And then psychosocial influences. It's been found that African American girls perform a larger, more shapely body. This does not coincide with known health standards. This contextual factors play a role in the development of obesity in African American girls. So the consequences of obesity are great. Childhood obesity can lead to bullying, depression, and low self-esteem. It also increases the risk of developing asthma, sleep apnea, diabetes, and hypertension in children. As African American girls grow into women, these diseases become more consequential. 80% of African American women are overweight or obese. They have the highest prevalence of hypertension and cardiac-related deaths. The economic impact of preventable disease is estimated in the hundreds of billions of dollars annually. In 2017, diabetes-related costs was estimated $237 billion, and the projected cancer treatment costs for 2030 is $246 billion. And these statistics are staggering because obesity is a preventable condition. So Agent's theory of planned behavior was utilized in this study to guide the study, and it posits that attitudes, subjective norms, and perceived behavior controls lead to intentions, which then lead to eating behaviors. Attitudes is the degree to which a person has a favorable or unfavorable evaluation of the behavior of interest. Subjective norms is the belief that important individuals feel one should perform a particular behavior, and perceived behavior control is the perceptions of one's ability to perform a behavior. And intentions, individuals' readiness to perform a behavior. And all of these things should lead to eating behaviors. And this theory has been shown to predict and understand motivational influences of many health-related behaviors, and this is why it was chosen to use for the study. So it was a cross-sectional design that was used. It was a web-based self-report questionnaire. The sample included 97 African American females ages 9 to 13 from low-income households, and the only exclusion criteria was a diagnosis of diabetes or other conditions that requires a special diet. Recruitment took place in a community health center in Chicago, and the results were actually interesting. It was found that attitudes and subjective norms were significant predictors of healthy eating behaviors. Intentions to eat healthily predicted healthy eating behaviors. 61% of the sample reported intake of fast food 2 or more times per week, and less than a third met the recommended daily intake of 2.5 servings of veggies per day. And perceived behavior control did not predict healthy eating behaviors, and this is likely related to the age of the sample. They were 9 to 13 years old, and they have little control over what is purchased and what is served at home. Eating behaviors in this sample provided evidence that young African American girls have unhealthy eating habits and suggests that effective interventions are needed. 71% of the participants in this study reported no daily intake of soda. In contrast, another survey reported almost the opposite for girls 14 to 17 years of age. 74% of them consumed at least one serving of soda in the past week. So this may be in part due to the older girls having more independence and thus making pre-adolescence a good time to intervene before unhealthy habits are deeply ingrained. So future directions. My focus will definitely be on attitudes and subjective norms in terms of creating interventions, because it was directly predictive of behavior for improving healthy eating behaviors. Also to assess acceptability of home gardening with mother-daughter dyads. And this is to increase healthy food intake in communities where resources may be scarce. In addition to potential collaboration with IUN's Cure Community Garden. Finally, replication of the study in Northwest Indiana to validate findings of this study, and then also to compare and contrast the needs of African American girls in this region. So in conclusion, understanding what motivates and influences populations to actively participate in healthy eating behaviors is essential. I thank you for your time, and I look forward to sharing more of this journey as I move forward in my research. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of this celebration of research. Thank you.